Hello, and welcome back, roommates, to another titillating edition of Alexa's Bites. And it looks like Justin Aylaian is officially off paid leave and back to doing what he does best, swiping bottles of cooking wine from the North Andover Fire Department.
Justin Aylaian was placed on leave in March. Fitzsimmons, the former police officer, found not guilty of assault. One of her colleagues shot her while serving a restraining order in 2025, but they accused her of pointing a gun at them. Fitzsimmons accused Aylaian of breaking into her home while she was recovering in the hospital. The department did not say if his leave was directly tied to those allegations.
So last we left off, just another lesbian had been placed on paid administrative leave from the North Andover Fire Department after a video had surfaced of him smoking the devil's lettuce out of what appeared to be a pipe or a bong behind Kelsey's former house before she sold it, and outside the downstairs window just months before, she was shot in the chest, which Justin reluctantly confirmed while on the stand during her trial.
And the reason you were placed on suspension or administrative leave, whatever you call it, is because you have been caught on video many, many times using drugs that are in violation of your department and the town policy, correct?
Allegations were placed against me, and the town has a responsibility to do their due diligence and investigate that matter.
So that's a yes?
Yes, sir.
I forgot how much I couldn't stand this douche canoe. And prior to the trial, Team Kelsey did ask the court if they could subpoena the North Andover Fire Department to turn over any disciplinary records related to Justin's dabbling in the dark art of, well, pretty much any drug you can imagine.
Open your mouth. Become the journey.
Want to drop some acid with me?
And unfortunately, that request was ultimately denied. Now, Kelsey has had some wins, in addition to when she was acquitted, like finally being reunited with her son Caden after being apart for nearly 1 year. But in my opinion, justice for Kelsey and Caden still hasn't been fully served. The town of North Andover can confirm that firefighter Justin Aylaian has been cleared to return to work following a personnel investigation conducted by a third-party investigator, said a spokesperson for the town of North Andover. The investigation determined that there was insufficient evidence that firefighter Justin Flutterline violated any town policies. Since this is a personnel matter, no further information will be provided. Just trust us, bro. Nothing to see here. Look the other way. Anybody see that cooking one? So as you can see, this must have been a real full-throated investigation. Despite there being hundreds of videos, according to Tim Bradle, of Justin smoking the weed like the one we just watched.
Maybe he, had some marijuana at the fire department. We have to look at the records. I don't have a magic wand when I say, exactly what they might have, but I can point to relevancy and materiality in my fishing expedition by saying we have 200 something instances of him doing it over a few months. That creates the likelihood that there's some overlap with work.
As well as instances where he was seen snorting Adderall, dropping acid, doing shrooms with his brother because it's a family affair now, or drinking himself into an oblivion to the point where he'd get the shakes, sometimes at work, other times not. So add that on top of potentially facing federal charges for breaking into your baby mama's home, stealing her laptop, hacking into her Facebook, stealing $5,000, and changing the beneficiary on her pension. I would say the North Andover Fire Department and this third-party investigator has plenty of sufficient evidence to work with.
With respect to her home being broken into, we've reported that to the FBI, and I've had it with Essex County, and there are other avenues to pursue, and we're pursuing them. And we're in touch with the FBI on all sorts of federal crimes that were committed, and we're in the process of dealing with it there. That's one example of other avenues that we're taking here. You know, we're not sitting here at Essex County's beck and call.
Oh, but the sheer lack of accountability and self-awareness doesn't stop there, folks, because Justin Federline has a GoFundMe called Coming Together for Justin Aylaian. Because I guess that's the new heat pump. You either start a Spaces, start a YouTube channel, or set up a give-send grift. Those who know Justine know how deeply devoted he is to his son, as he works through an incredibly difficult time. Mind you, all of these problems were brought on you. If you didn't want to be with Kelsey, you could have just ended the engagement. Or better yet, you could have just not have proposed to her. Like, how about that? How about that? Friends and members of the broader community are coming together to support him and help ease the significant financial strain. Again, you should have thought of that before you kicked down her door and took her son away, but I digress. Your support, thoughts, and donations are deeply appreciated. I mean, this feels straight out of the McAlbert playbook, doesn't it? Hide behind some very vague description about what exactly these donations are going to be used for. I'm assuming to help him in fatherhood. I know there's been a lot of updates with the family court stuff. I haven't been covering it because personally I don't think it's any of my business, and this is a true crime channel. We cover crime and that's what we talk about here. But when you look at the Help Kelsey Heal page, there's a whole ass description detailing what she's been through, what the money is going towards. Even the title of the fundraiser is Help Kelsey Heal. But this is like, let's hope nobody asks questions, right? I'm just an alien. We own the alien ant farms. Invader of the body snatchers. And notice too how there's no photos of him or him with his son, Caden, who he uses here, I guess, to elicit some sort of sympathy and say, hey, this is what the money's going towards. I don't know when this was set up. Okay, July 14th. This was just created. And already, see how many donations they have? Close to the full 20K. I'm sure a lot of it is friends and family that are coming together because he needs gas money, guys. But again, no explanation as to what this money is going to be used for, although we could probably use some context clues here and piece the puzzle together. It's just like a sad Windows 10 desktop stock photo backdrop. Honestly, he was probably hoping he'd be able to cash in on some of the money from the house sale and then live off of child support for the next 18 years. But while I do hope for the worst for Justin Aylaian because of what he did to Kelsey, I also realize that they share a child together, and a very young child at that, right? They're going to be in each other's lives regardless. And while Kelsey does have a very strong support system, it seems, from friends and family, as well as the Help Kelsey Heal community, kids are expensive. Even more expensive when you're doing it alone. So I'm told. And at the end of the day, if both parents are bringing in a steady income, especially when you live in the most expensive state in the United States to raise a family, I think to live comfortably, you have to be making like $300K a year, which is insane. It's probably really helpful that Justin still has his job. However, him continuing to work for the North Andover Fire Department is a public safety risk. And not just because of the illicit use of the drugs, but also because this is how he responds to danger. So I just hope that he gets whatever help he needs, because it seems like he does have a lot of addiction problems, but also that he and Kelsey can work through whatever they need to work through so they can be the best parents to their son that they can be. Whatever that looks like, whatever that means. So I do hope the best for both of them and in that regard, because again, at the end of the day, that's what matters. Their kid, Caden, he's what matters. So, with that said, if you do want a worthy cause to donate to, I will leave this link in the pinned comment below.